a very good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Today's webinar is part of the Smart Nation Together series brought to you by the Smart Nation and Digital Government Office. So the webinar today on leveraging e-commerce is the second session of a two-part series brought to us by UOB's Innovation Accelerator, the FinLab, that aims to help businesses transform and grow with the right digital tools and strategies. UOB FinLab has also partnered with a speaker from Exabyte today, who will share more on how businesses can grow using e-commerce channels. So if you have questions for the speakers later, do leave them in the Q&A box below and they will get to them at the end of the session. So without further ado, let me hand over the time now to Will from the FinLab.
Thank you, Cheryl. Hi, everyone. Will, Program Manager from the FinLab. Hope you can hear me. Just glad to be able to host this session together with Cheryl. And just wanted to say many thanks again to the Smart Nation Together team for organizing this webinar together with us. So if you have joined our part one, hello again. And just really glad to be able to share more with everyone about leveraging e-commerce and online platforms to grow your business digitally. So, whether you are part of a big SME or small SME, or maybe you don't even have a business yet, but you really hope to start one, you agree that today many things have gone online, gone digital, and we cannot ignore the importance of an online e-commerce space. But how do you get started? What are some of the things you should be looking out for? What are some of the digital solutions you can consider? This is what we hope to share with you today, together with our strong e-commerce partner, Exabyte. So really looking forward to that and hope it's a session that will be beneficial and useful for you. Okay, but before that, allow me to introduce the head of the FinLab, Shannon Leung, to share with you more about who we are as a FinLab, what we do, and how we can help you. Shannon, over to you.
Hey, hi. Thanks, Will. Thanks, everyone. Okay. A very good afternoon to all of you. Hi, my name is Shannon. I'm from the FinLab, and really thank you for taking your time today to join us this afternoon. Very happy and excited to be here today and to share with you an introduction of who we are at the FinLab. We also hope you will enjoy the sharing and insights later by our partner, Exabyte. They will be sharing quite a number of things that I believe will be very useful to all of you later as well. All right, so just moving on quickly to the first slide. The FinLab is actually an innovation accelerator powered by UOB. We are also actually a joint venture with SGU Innovate, and this is actually our 7th year in operation since we were founded in 2015. The first few years of when we ran the business, we were primarily focused on running fintech accelerator, primarily for fintechs. We had about 15 participants across 2 cohorts, and have helped to raise close to 50 million with a total valuation of close to 300 million. We also help them grow and expand their business across the region. Just touching on the next slide. We wanted to help more than just fintechs. So in 2018, using the same accelerator model from our fintech acceleration program, we launched FinLab Business Reformation Program. The key focus was the program is to help SME learn about their business by reimagining their business through business model canvas, match them with relevant digital solutions and mentors, and provide guidance to help them to pick and implement the identified solution. After successfully launching this in Singapore, we then expanded the FinLab program across the region and introduced it into Malaysia and Thailand. In 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, we also took the opportunity to pivot our business and launch our very own learning platform, the FinLab Online. The FinLab Online key focus is to allow SMEs to self-help their digitalization journey through solutions from like HR, payment, website, digital marketing, and more. Moving on to the next slide. I'd just like to share the success of the program. Throughout the years, we have helped more than 5,500 SMEs across the region. And we're close to more than 1,200 SMEs have also adopted the digital solutions to help to transform their business. Some even seen productivity up by 30% after going through their journey with us. You may even recognize some of the names that went through the program with us. Moving on to the next slide. We then continued our journey and expanded into sustainability, where we launched our first sustainability innovation program in September 2021. The 5 weeks program is focused on helping SMEs to learn about key trends, understand their sustainability position through a green assessment tool, and to learn about green tech solutions that they could implement and help them to be more sustainable in their business. Throughout the program, close to 400 participants has joined us to learn about or to get embarked on the journey to going green. We'll be running our second program this year in May, and we'll be announcing a new initiative during the launch. And we'll really encourage all of you to register for interest if you're keen to find out more about this space, right? So without much further ado, that's all for my sharing today. I'll probably pass it back to Will, who will then introduce our next partner to do the sharing as well. Thank you everyone so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Shannon. Yep, hope, again, I've shared the links in the chat if you'd like to find out more about who we are, but also to sign up for our Sustainability Innovation Program. Do click the links and just register. Okay, moving on to our key speaker for today, our partner from Exabytes. I'd like to introduce Keith Leong, who is Business Development Manager at Exabytes, to share with you more about leveraging e-commerce, and he will also share a little bit more about the Exabyte solution and what it can do to help your business grow. Keith, over to you.
Hi, okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Will and Shannon. I will be going to share my slide first. Okay, do you guys able to see my slide? If ever, you can type 1 in the chat box so that I can make sure all of you can see my slides.
Yes, can
Right.
see.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so good morning. Sorry, I think now it's afternoon already. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keith Leong, and I'm the Business Development Manager as Will introduced me. So just a little bit about me. Hold on, let me highlight something. Okay, I joined Exabyte since 2018, and in the past, I have more than 5 years experience and has been actively helping more than 100 companies to digitalize their business. And at the same time, currently, I am also one of the appointed Alibaba.com Global Star Lecturer, where mainly to provide training to the sellers, you know, the SME sellers, okay, on how to use the Alibaba.com to do the cross-border to get the international B2B buyers. So currently in Exabyte, I'm leading a team whereby actively helping more than 100 businesses to expand their business globally through Alibaba.com and also digital marketing. So my key portfolios are mainly in manufacturing, retailing, education, property, and logistics. So this is a bit highlight about me myself. Okay, let me move on. So just to introduce a bit about our company, Exabyte. So for us, we are the top or the cloud solution provider in Southeast Asia, and our key market share actually is in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia. But of course, we got others others country as well. And up to date, currently we are actively helping or we are serving more than 160,000 SME and enterprise clients across the region. So now move on to today's our agenda. Today's my key sharing, my main agenda is to share with you on the steps on how to promote your products online. You know, there are 3 key steps, right? So please get yourself to have a notepad, you know, to jot down, okay? Or maybe if you have any questions later on, feel free to ask me in the chat box as well, okay? So let's move on. Before we further move on the steps, right, I wish to introduce a bit about the sales funnel, okay, or so-called AIDA. So basically, the sales funnel in the e-commerce and also the offline actually is almost the same, okay, but just the approach might be a bit different. So basically, in this, the e-commerce, we have 4 main things we need to look into it. The first thing is the awareness. Second, interest, decision, and action. So what does it all mean? So awareness basically is like we need to let more people to know about your business, your product. So from here, we need to drive the traffic to visit your online store, right? Then secondly, when it comes to interest, is that once we drive in the traffic, then we need to trigger their interest, you know, to capture their interested on our business, on our products. Then from there, they will be going to register their interest. You know, they are put in their contact details, all those things to let our sales team, or they can directly to purchase from there. Okay, so then it move on into the decision. So if let's say we get in their interest and they found it your product posting, your business information, your services, everything is listed very details, okay, then they will be move on to make a decision to approach you to use your services. And lastly, they will become your clients. So this is the fundamental about the e-commerce: awareness, interest, decision, and action. So now, today my sharing, it will be more focusing on to the top three, which is the awareness, the interest, and also decision. But most of the time, the SME that they're not able to do well manage, it is on these three parts, right? Especially usually the awareness, they are not doing very well. So maybe they do not know how to create the awareness, right? So today I will be going to sharing on this part. So now, before we're going to start selling, right, when we're going to do an e-commerce store or a website, the first thing we need to think, how would be our customer thinking, right? What would they will be make them to actually to purchase? So the first thing, okay, from the customer point of view, what makes me to click into the store? Why should I click into it, right? When I see your ads or see your online store from the marketplace or anywhere, why should I click into it, right? Secondly, what makes me to continue to stay and look for more at your store? So basically, it's like when I already click into your store, why or what makes me actually to continue to stay in your website to further understand what's the product or services that you're offering, right? What makes me actually wanted to stay longer to further understand about your product and services, okay? Then the third thing is what makes me to decide to buy from you, but not from the others, okay? Because now we are talking about e-commerce, there will be a lot of the businesses, a lot of the competitors, the sellers in your industry. There are so many of them, so many of the sellers. I have so many choices. Why should I choose you, right? Why should I to buy it from you? And lastly is what makes me to make the payment now and not later. Most of the time when we got the traffic come into the store, but then it is quite hard for us to convert it into our customer, right? So what makes me to make the payment to you, right? Like immediately and not later. So the main tips actually is just like we need to avoid all the things that you don't like. We need to always to put ourselves as a customer. Okay, if today I am the customer, okay, what makes me actually to purchase from you? What makes me to actually to visit your store? All these things we need to think from the customer point of view. Then only we can have a to make the e-commerce store much more successful, and then to generate the sales from there. Okay. All right. So next, now let's move on to step one. How to set up your online store. That will be the fundamentally after we understand how's the sales funnel in the e-commerce, how does it works, right? Now we move on how we need to set up the online store. When I spoken with a lot of the clients, whenever they are trying to do the digitalize, they have the mindset that they think that, okay, set an online store, I just need a website only lah. Okay, or maybe I just need to buy a domain only lah. But actually, that's not on the only things that you need to have in order to set up an online store, right? So what is it? First, yes, you need to create your own store. Okay, so you see some of them, they will be listed in different kind of the platform, but it is very advisable. Okay, and it is a must, I would say. If let's say you want to make your business a success, to sustain and grow, right? Definitely you need to have your own e-commerce store, which you got as a brand.com store. So like, for example, you have your own brand, you have your own business name already, right? Then businessname.com store. So this one, basically, you can actually to capture the data, the customer base that you have. Then you can, even though upcoming, if you wanted to upsell or do any kind of the marketing in future, it will be much more effective. So step one, you need to have your own brand.com store. So let's say all the business owner here, some of you, maybe you still do not have your own domain, you do not have a website, you actually can visit our Exabyte website, then from there you can purchase the domain, or purchase the website design from our website from there, so that you can start to have your own brand.com store. All right. So secondly, here, this is one of our client, Captain Oats, okay, which actually they are very famous in Malaysia, Singapore, and also Middle East. They are selling the oats. Okay, so basically they have two types of a website. You see, one is an informative website. So informative website actually means that it's just only the informative, whereby Captain Oats is trying to capture the B2B buyers, those who are probably is the retailers or distributors, or even though there are some of the end customers, they would like to know, okay, what's the difference, okay, for Captain Oats between with others brand, right? So they wanted to know more. So let's say they wanted to purchase, you see here, there's the online store here. They just click into it, then drive them to the online store. So the online store that Capital Oats actually having is the e-commerce. Okay, so they have two types of the e-commerce. One is the brand.com store, which is you can see here. Another one, it would be their in the marketplace, like in Lazada, Shopee, this type of the marketplace. So basically, by having these two types of the website, you're trying to capture different kind of the customers, okay, different behavior, okay. So next thing, when it comes to set up your online store, after you have your own bread.com store, right, you would like to expand it to have more online presence, right? Basically, let's say you wanted to sell more platform, you wanted to get more sales, get more customer, you can also to set up your store in the Shopee, Lazada, Q10, eBay, and etc. This type of the online marketplace. This type of the marketplace, actually, they already have their ready customer already. Okay, so you can just set up a store at there. But this one, if let's say you're looking for long-term, right, long-term brand sustainability and also growth, definitely it is advisable you need to have your own bread.com store first. Then next, you set up in this type of the online marketplace. Okay. So now, after we already got all this kind of the online store, then the next step we need to look into it on how to post your product, okay, for your online store. You see, imagine you imagine this the online platform, is like you are going to set up a store from somewhere else, right? But today when you set up a store, you need to actually to run the business. You need to actually to think on how to capture your customer when they pass by your online store, okay, and then they click into it, they see your online store from somewhere else, they click into it, and they visit. Okay, so this product posting is very important because nowadays the customer, they cannot see you face to face, they cannot feel the product immediately, right? So how do we going to post the product? Okay, when they visited my website, okay, and then they see my product, okay, they can understand everything and they go and purchase it from you. Right? So let's move on. In digital world, basically the customer, they can be going to search any product anytime, anyway. Okay, so this is, they are so in the market, there are so many people, they are surfing in the internet, they are using the social media to look out, they're visiting the marketplace, using Google, all this type of platform to search for the product that they are looking for. Okay, but you see, you are just a tiny pieces, you are very tiny in this the digital world, right? How are you going to capture this group of the people to purchase you, right? So there are a few things we need to consider. Okay, we need to take into action, I would say, right? How to post a detailed product posting. So basically, there are 4 things we need to think. The first thing is why click in your store. Second, why to stay on your store longer. Okay. Third, why to buy from you. And lastly, why buy now and not later. Okay, so all these things, if you in my earlier steps I got shared, is that put yourself, okay, into your customer shoes. Okay, you are the customer. What makes you actually to purchase from the seller, right? All these are the key points. So what is to decide whether the customer, they want to click into your store. So the first thing is your product photo. Okay, your product photo is very important, or you need to have the videos, because now the customer, they cannot see it, cannot feel it. But the only way they're going to justify or to assess your product, whether is this their needs or not, right? Based on your photo, based on your videos, you need to take a very nice photo, or not necessarily to be very fancy, but at least clear, okay, high resolution, the customer can see it, okay, then it is good enough. Okay, then secondly is that you need to consistently to do any kind of you need to consistently to do the campaign, the promotion, right? So if you're not doing any kind of a campaign or promotion, the customer do not know about you. Okay, basically this type of the campaign or promotion, like it is some sort of like to give the buyers, the customer, a reason to buy from your store, to buy from you, right? Why should I buy from you, right? And the thing is that relevancy. Of course, the campaign, the promotion, the photos that you put in, it has to be relevant. Okay, relevant to your business, relevant to your products that you are actually selling, right? So I give you an example. Let's say today you are selling a bao, the bun, okay? But you're putting some others images, like it doesn't relate to the bun at all, right? The customer cannot imagine it. Then they even do not know what product that you're trying to sell. right? So that it must to have the relevancy there. So secondly, why stay on your store? So why the customer wanted to stay longer at your store, and then end up you can convert them into your customer, right? The first thing is your user experience, the loading speed. Okay, you see, sometimes some of the traditional business, they think that, okay, I have a website, then more than enough already. But most of the time they ignore the user experience is very important, right? The user experience, like in terms of the customer, when they visit to your website, it is easier for them to use the mobile actually to directly purchase, or they can directly to contact you, or directly to purchase. Okay. And another thing is that the speed of the loading need to be fast. Okay, the faster the better. Because you see, like certain of the website, the loading speed is very slow. Then end up the customer like, no lah, I don't want to wait anymore lah. I want to leave. No, now in this digital world, everything want to be fast, right? So your loading speed for your website, it has to be taken into consideration. If your website loading speed is slow, right, you need to do something on that already. Okay. Secondly, is the product availability. Sometimes, especially this happens a lot to the e-commerce website. Okay, when they start selling their product in the website, in the e-commerce website, like always sold out of stock. You see, when the customer they visit to your website and they wanted to purchase, then they find out that it's out of stock, you know, or not available. So basically, they won't be visit to your store anymore. So you need to always keep constantly update your product page, which is not out of stock. Okay, always available. Make it always available. Then the third thing is that if you selling some other related product, like for example, you are selling dim sum related kind of the product, then you need to have not only bun, maybe you need to have a siu mai, or maybe you have some others relevant dim sum food inside, so that the customer, they can see there are variety, there are various of the foods or choices in your online store. They are likely to, you know, to purchase more from you. This is how you can increase your online sales from there as well. Okay, then the fourth thing is that you need to have the related content or the info, right? So you need to put in as much details as possible in your online store. Need to be relevant. Okay, like be it for the image, be it for the what's your let's say you have the certificates, you know, or maybe you have a different kind of packaging. You know, this type of content need to fit in as much as possible, so that the customer, they can know, okay, what is your product looks like, or maybe what kind of packaging you have, and etc. Okay, so then the next thing, why to buy from you? Yeah, a few things. The first thing is uniqueness. What makes you different compared with the others? What is your unique selling point? Okay, for example, let's say you are selling the bao, right? You are having the halal certificates, right? You have the halal, you have ISO. So it means that if let's say I'm a Muslim, okay, I can purchase it from you. Or maybe you have some, you know, some new taste of the product, right? It's unique. I purchase it from you. Secondly, pricing. Okay, so of course, the pricing here, I'm not saying that you need to cut your price, you know, move into the price. No. Okay, the pricing is that it must be, need to be reasonable. Okay, affordable. The people, they can buy it, you know, among your industry. So I'm not asking you to slash your price, keep on do different kind of flashes. No, but at least reasonable. When the customer, they feel, okay, today I'm paying this X amount, I'm getting what kind of the value for me, you know. That's the pricing, the affordable, reasonable. Okay. The other thing is what kind of service that you have. So like, for example, if you're doing the e-commerce, then you are having the free delivery, or maybe you can do some sort of the guarantee. Okay. If let's say within 30 days, okay, if let's say you're not satisfied, guarantee return back to me. This time also consider of the service. Okay. The fourth thing is a reliability. You see, if let's say you have the service there, okay, then you need to have the reliability as well. So this reliability is in be it the review from your potential from your past customer, okay, or maybe you can give some sort any kind of the after sales support to them as well. So all this will be put into consideration for your customer to purchase it. So what I'm meaning here, the 4 points: uniqueness, pricing, service, reliability, all this must be shown in your website, in your e-commerce store. All right. Then lastly, why buy now? Why not later? Okay, so we need to create the urgency. We need to have a strong call to action for them. Like, for example, we can use the limited time offer, limited units, you know, this type of the call to action to get them to immediately to purchase it from you. Okay. So now let me showcase to you the Captain Oats, our client. Okay. how they do it. This is one of the good example on how they put in, I mean, how they can generate the sales, right? How they move on from the offline, you know, which all the time depending on the distributor, but at the same time, now they also have it into this, the e-commerce as well, okay? Which giving it more choices and also at the same time also helping the distributor as well, okay? So first, they choose the right product category. So for example, for oats, maybe you have granola, maybe you have raw oats, you know, or quick oat and etc. You have different kinds of oats, right? You need to put into the right category because you do not know. Maybe some of the customers, they really search by product category. They're not searching by the product name. We don't know. If let's say today you set into the correct product category, then they can see all sort of the product that you have in the same category, and it might help them to make faster decision and purchase it from you, right? That's the first thing. Secondly, we need to put in the SEO friendly and user friendly product title. So all these things also will be contributed into SEO. Okay. Later I will be going to highlight or will be cover what is SEO. So basically this one is make it easier for customer to search you, be it in your store or in the Google. When they type in, let's say I'm looking for healthy oats. Okay, then at least your website got the chance to show in Google. Okay, then the thing is we need to have this strong call to action button. So after they see your product, you want after they check all these type of the product information, right? You wanted them to actually to purchase it from you. We may have some of your loyal customer. They already know what product you have, right? You want to make it easier for them to directly check out. You need to have strong call to action button. Like you need to have the buy now, add to cart, or even though can have a WhatsApp button or the what you call it, the social media chat button, right? Let them to easily to reach out to you in case they have any kind of questions or inquiry about your product. Okay, then of course the last thing that we need to think is to have the brief product information and highlight all sort of the unique selling points that you have. Right, today there are so many competitors outside, right? There's so many sellers outside selling the similar product, or you know, why should they purchase it from you? So usually the buyer, when they come into it, especially for the new customer, okay, they're new to you, then they will be going to evaluate all the product information that you put in, or you have any kind of a unique selling point, or you have any kind of a promotion. All this information must be put inside your e-commerce store or your website. Okay. So now let's move on to step 3. So in earlier, it is like, it's more on to set up your online store, right? Once you already set up your online store, then how are you going to drive the traffic to your online store and purchase it from you to get more people to know about your product, right? So now, you know, in this, to drive the traffic, basically we can do the awareness, traffic campaign, conversion, all these things. So we need to do this type of the marketing campaign, okay, in multiple online marketing channel. So first thing, we have the SEO or SEM. All right, SEO is like the organic traffic. SEM is like you advertise in Google Ads, okay, in YouTube. All these are considered as the SEM. All right. Then the second is that you need to have Facebook, Insta, TikTok, LinkedIn advertisement, okay, or even though you have the presence there, right? So just to let your customer to alert, okay, to aware you are still there, or they can even can help you to share your social media to your potential customer as well. All right. And the third thing is to do the content marketing. This is very important because a lot of the SME, when they speak with them, they will always think, okay, today I want to do the online marketing channel. I need to keep on do a lot of the advertisement. I need to do a lot of the ads or to drive the sales. But actually that one is just part of it. But if you wanted to grow your existing customer to become your loyal customer, right? Content marketing is something that we need to look into it. Right, content marketing is like you need to generate some sort of content from your social media, from your website, everything, right, to make it more interactive, okay, or to keep the engagement with your existing customer. Because we do not know, all right, if let's say the content marketing, if we do it very viral, you know, or very attractive, definitely they will be shared it with their friends. Then this is how you can actually to help to acquire new customer. Okay, and at the same time, also help you to retain your loyal customers so that they will stick with you longer and won't go to your competitor. Okay, then the fourth thing is this social media. So basically earlier it is the second one I'm talking is more on the ads, but here the social media is like you have the social media presence, like create your Facebook page, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and etc. You know, these are of the things. And lastly, if you may also consider to engage with some kind of KOL, okay, to do the KOL marketing, right? So let's move on. Now, let me talk about the digital marketing. Okay, the first thing, the SEO. So basically, the SEO is to help you to get more the SEO traffic, okay, from the Google. So how we do it is that basically, once you do the SEO, you will be going to optimize your website, okay, in terms of the content, in terms of the keywords, even though the website backend setting, everything need to do the optimization in order to help you to drive the organic traffic. So in short, right, in the SEO, where we do it, it is mainly going to target the customers who are actually doing research. This group of the potential customers, they're not yet ready to convert yet, but they're actually doing comparison. Okay, like for example, like Captain Oats, right? They are selling the oats, but the oats, they have so many types of the oats. They have granola as well, so many. Which oats that I should go for? Let's say today I'm on diet, right? So maybe they will go into search, okay, on diet oats. Then maybe, okay, let's say Captain Oats, they have this, the raw oats is suitable for the on diet customer. Okay, then they will be going to read about the article, everything from their website. Then this is how actually you can retain or so-called you can reach out to the new customer. It's more on the awareness in the Google itself. All right. Then next, Google Ads. So this the Google Ads is like basically you are going to put the advertising, okay, in the Google platform and to help you to drive the ready to buy customer already. So this one of the customer, they are very actively in Google. Okay, they are actively searching to buy some of the products already. They are ready to buy. Then they will be going to click into the ads. So how do you identify whether is it ads or just the normal SEO? So you see when there's the AD, so basically this is the ads, Google Ads, and let's say you see there's the without AD one, this is basically is the SEO. All right. So now in Google Ads, there are 6 key things here, okay, in general. The first thing is the Google Search Ads. So basically Google Search Ads is that you bid on the keywords, okay, then your product or your website will be going to show at the first page or the second page. Okay, so this is basically you bid on your brand name, your competitor brand name, or even though your product name as well. All right. So secondly is the Google Display Network. So Google Display Network is that you visit certain of the, for example, the news website, right? You see there are some of the banner there that have some movement, These usually are the Google Display Network. Okay, it's more on the awareness or more on to remarketing purpose itself. Okay, the third thing is YouTube advertising or so-called YouTube ads. You can advertise in the YouTube, so it is more onto the awareness purpose lah. Okay, so you see the remarketing basically it is part of the YouTube and also Google Display Network. Then the Gmail advertising usually it is very frequently used by the e-commerce brand, okay, to actually to send the promotion promotion info to their customers, okay, or to their existing customer or to their the customer actually who has been signed up their newsletter. They use the Gmail advertising. So the ads will be shown in the Gmail itself. And lastly, there's the Google Shopping. So basically, the Google Shopping is a bit similar to Google Search Ads, also bid on the keywords as well. But the only difference is that Google Shopping, you can showcase your products. Your product image, they will be going to show there when people searching for your product. Yeah, so it is mainly going to reach out to the customer who are very visualized kind of the customer. But Google Search Ads is for generic customer that they don't care about the visualize at first. Okay. All right. So lastly, talk about the social media advertising. So social media, it can be in Facebook, in Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, this type of the social media platform. So how we are going to do when you're going to do the advertising in social media, there are few things we need to take note. First, you need to manage your ad spending from time to time, okay, and to ensure your ROI is always up to date. Your ROI is there. Then secondly is that we need to make sure we reach out to the right target audience. So here we have the custom audience and also lookalike audience, okay. Then the next thing is that we need to do the tracking. Be it you are going to do advertising or do the SEO in Google, in Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, every of the online platform, like make sure you have a proper tracking. Today you do the online marketing, digital marketing, mainly is you wanted to track, you wanted to calculate your ROI. Now that's the thing that actually in offline marketing, you do not able to calculate ROI. Okay, hard to calculate the ROI, but in digital marketing, you are able to justify. Of course, this one, you need to make sure your tracking is set up properly. Okay, then after that, if you set up the tracking properly, like we can do the remarketing. A lot of the businesses, when they come to us and then they ask for consultation, then we find out usually the tracking, they're not set up properly, and they're not even though able to do the remarketing. This remarketing, mainly it is to retarget back to your existing customer or to those customers who visited to your online store. Okay, then dynamic product is like basically based on your customer preference. Okay, like for example, your customer already visited your page, you may have different kind of the category. So like for example, if you are selling clothing, for example, you have jeans, you have normal t-shirt. If let's say this particular customer, every time they visited to your website is looking for jeans, then when we run this dynamic product ads, right, it will keep on showing the jeans related product to him already. Yeah, so that because the system already automatically identify this customer like your jeans, so that they keep on see your jeans. Okay, right? Then yeah, reporting, you need to learn on how to read the report, because this you run the digital marketing, there will be a bunch of the data. But how are you going to analyze the report, the data that you have? Okay, once you analyze, then only you can make the right decision for your next move. Okay, what to do next. All right. So, all right. So that's all about the steps. Now, just do some a bit things about Exabyte. Basically for us, the Exabyte, we're here to help. Whereby, like for example, the business owner here, you have your business ideas. You wanted to create a website. Okay. Then after you create your website, you needed to grow your business. Okay. Even though let's say you need to have someone else to help you to manage like your server or your digital marketing like SEO, Facebook, e-commerce, we can help you as well. We can provide this type of services for you. It's basically a one-stop. Okay. And also now today, once you already have your own online store, but you might thinking on you also need help on how to drive the traffic to purchase it from you, right? We can help you to do the media buying from A to Z. Okay, help you to do the advertising in multiple online platforms. We can plan the strategic marketing for you. We advise you which platform is suitable for your product and services, or maybe you can tell us what is your upcoming thoughts, so that we can help you to plan the necessary online marketing campaign for you. Okay, so now this is the special deal for all the attendees here today. Okay, so this is the website design. For the basic one is one page website design. So the RRP actually is 1,188 Sing dollar. Okay, but today's we are actually only selling at 480 ringgit. 480 per year Sing dollar. Okay. So let's say, of course, we have multiple kind of the package as well. This one is just a starter pack, but let's say you're looking for, okay, I already got a business, I think I need to move on further. I wanted to move on further, then you can contact us. Okay, to get in more specific package for today's attendees as well. Okay, so you can scan the QR code here. All right. And then you can reach out to our colleague, so that our colleague will be we know that you are coming from today's FinLab event. Then we will be going to propose to you the respective package for you. Okay, just for you. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I'll pass it back to Will.
Thank you so much, Keith. Thanks for the